Hello, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. So, I really like sports. I don't play sports. I like watching sports. I love football, soccer, boxing, just about anything. You name it, I'll watch it. Um, I am not in any shape to play a sport, but I can sit on the couch and enjoy some good food watching sports. My first experience was a soccer game. As a little girl, I always dreamt of going to a football game. I used to watch football a lot, and it was something that I always wanted, like hoped and dreamed that I could go to a football game, go to the stadium and witness it in person, live, my first experience wasn't a football game, but it was a soccer game. My husband grew up a really big soccer fan. Soccer was his life, so he took me to my first soccer game. It was a Mexico game in Arizona. This was in 2015. I was 4 months pregnant with our fourth child, so there was a lot of mixed emotions there. I was very nervous, just nervous to leave the kids, or nervous for anything that could possibly happen to me or him, just worried, it's normal. It's normal to worry and whatnot. But I also felt guilty that I was having fun with all my kids. But they'll forgive me for it. It was the experience for the soccer game. It was really fun. My husband bought me my first soccer jersey for that game. So that was really cool. Something about the crowd that I noticed was that they were very loud, very energetic. They seemed very proud of their culture, Mexican culture, of course. I remember seeing plenty of people walking around with their Mexican flags, playing Mexican music. It seemed like such a great environment. It felt like we were around family, to be honest. I remember where we sat, the people that were surrounding us, like we practically made friends with these people. By the end of the night, we said bye to almost everybody around us. It felt like a really big party with family, and it was cool. It's something that I will always remember. It was a great experience for both of us. And the crowd, I want to say, were in their mid-20s, early 30s, most of the crowd. So it was very fun. And then also I remember at the end of the game, when we were walking out of the stadium, there was a big crowd of people trying to be on camera. I can't remember what specific TV network it was, but people were trying to be on camera, us too, trying to be nosy, seeing what was going on. So that was a really fun experience. My second experience was my first football game. As I mentioned, like as a little girl, I always dreamt of going to a football game. So this literally was a dream come true for me. We went that same year, 2015. I was so pregnant. We went to a Cardinals versus Packers game in Arizona. And honestly, it was a really fun game as well, a fun experience. So, but I did notice some differences from the soccer game. I didn't get the same energy from the crowd as I did from the soccer game. I remember getting some rude comments from Cardinal fans because we were Packer fans. We had Packer jerseys on and whatnot. They would say rude things to us. Of course, we ignored it, whatever. But those are just the little things that I can remember, and that's what made the difference. And then also that night, as we were leaving the stadium, there was a couple that we were all trying to leave the parking lot. Everybody's trying to leave, everybody's getting impatient. They want to go home or whatever. But this couple that were obviously Cardinal fans, they ended up basically bumping into our car. And my brother's a huge Cardinal fan, so I remember mentioning to him, like, these Cardinal fans will go to extreme measures to prove a point. That night we lost against the Cardinals, so people drink at these games, so I get it, but we weren't gonna let something like that ruin it for us. You know, we had a great time, and that's what we went for, to have a great time. But yeah, that's something that I'll never forget, because they bumped into our car and left a mark. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I had fun at that game. Football games, I'll still go to a football game. Maybe it'll be different next time. But yeah, those are just the differences that I saw in both sports. You know, the energy and you know, just the culture of it. Like in the soccer game, obviously there's more Mexican culture, and in the football game, from what I got, in my opinion, was more of like a white culture. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just something that I got from it. And it was more of an older crowd. So yeah, so those are the differences that I saw in both sports, different races, and, you know, the energies and whatnot. So something that I learned from it is, you know, people will be ignorant. It's a sports game. People are going to drink. People are going to act out. You know, they're going to get in over their head sometimes. But it's best to just ignore the ignorance, stay calm, and walk away from any negative situation. You know, people are going to be, like I said, ignorant. They're going to be immature. You don't want to stoop down to their level. Be better than that. And I know sometimes there'll be situations that it's hard to ignore it, because I know it can get the best of us sometimes, but it's best to just walk away. And, you know, because you got to think about your life, you got to think about your family and all that. And yeah, it's just best. I mean, that's what I did. With the rude comments and whatever else happened, I ignored it, and I brushed it off, because we're better than that. So yeah, so these are my two experiences that I had: soccer game and football game. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.